when I mentioned some of President Trump's skills for being president. I said negotiating and persuasion. And a number of people of Trump's critics, and I guess they're my critics now, weighed in with a similar tweet. All right, they had different words, but they were very similar. And it would go something like, LOL, ha ha ha, you think that. And there would be no counterfactual anything, no link, no here's why I disagree with you, no I think you missed this fact, none of that. It's just pure LOL followed by a mocking of the person who thinks it. Now, I don't know how you could be a critic of the president, no matter what you think he's doing wrong, his policies are wrong, no matter what you think of the mistakes he's made. How could you have observed this process and not think that he knows how to negotiate? I can understand if you'd say, oh, I think here are the ones I understand from the critics. If a critic says, I don't like his policies, I understand that. Nobody really knows the best things to do. If you say, I worry that overseas, some leaders will not find him credible and that will hurt us. That's a reasonable thing to say. People could disagree with you, and I think I would argue that point, but it's a perfectly reasonable kind of thing to say. And there are a number of other reasonable things you could say about the president's performance or his talents. But if you've watched from the beginning till now, and you've concluded that President Trump doesn't know anything about negotiating, forget about whether he's done it well. People are weighing in on my Twitter feed telling me that he doesn't even understand the topic of negotiating. Now, that opinion borders on mental illness. And what I mean by that is it's cognitive dissonance of such an amazing degree that it blurs the line between a normal person who's confused or having cognitive dissonance and actual mental illness, because once that becomes part of your understanding of your president, you're living in this horrible reality that you've created for yourself, where the president not only has policies you don't like, but he doesn't understand things that even I understand, how to negotiate. That would not be an area I would claim expertise, but I've negotiated for a living. I've had jobs where that literally was my primary job description, was negotiate contracts back in my corporate days. And I look at him and I see all the skills of a negotiator. Plus he wrote a book on it. And people responded to that when I say, well, he wrote a book on negotiating called The Art of the Deal. And people, his critics always weigh in and say, ho, 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 LOL, Tony Schwartz really wrote that book. Well, here's the thing. I'm sure Trump at least fucking read the book, all right? I'm almost positive he read it. And I'm almost positive Tony Schwartz talked to him or observed what he did to figure out, how he negotiates. So the thought that, somebody who's not a professional author used a ghostwriter for a book about their own talents, it's not telling us much.